Well, that certainly is a really impressive introduction for any big Broadway medley or opening number of a concert. Hey everybody, my name's Tom. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Keyboard Skills Pro. Please do hit the old subscribe button and maybe give us a thumbs up as well. In this lesson, I'm going to show you my rising intro, I suppose you might call it. It's where the chords climb and climb and climb to the big moment where you then lead into your opening number. Now, this might be good for songs like Cabaret, Anything Goes, That's Entertainment, No Business Like Show Business, loads of songs from any of those wonderful old Broadway shows. And this intro really does use some fantastic chords, but it also uses some very interesting, I think, music theory. Now, I call it the rising intro because it rises from one key to another until you end up in the key that you're in. And it's all based on a special interval called the minor third interval. And in fact, we sometimes refer to this as minor third changes. So what you have to understand first of all is that we have this particular kind of chord in the world of music. We have major chords, minor chords, and we have these ones, diminished chords. Now, diminished chords are interesting things because they're made up of the same intervals between each of the notes. So if I take a chord of, say, let's say C diminished, I've got my C note, and then I go up 1, 2, 3 semitones from that key note, I get E flat, and then I go up again, look at it, 1, 2, 3, I get F sharp, and if we then carry on that pattern and add on this note, the A, we will end up with C diminished seventh. Now all of the intervals there, look, are all minor thirds. And that means something quite special, that in the world of music, those four keys are cleverly and uniquely linked together. So it means if you go from the key of C to the key of E flat, or from the key of F sharp to the key of A, there is a really pleasant change to it. Now, the music theory behind this, you can see this in some of my other videos on the circle of fifths, which of course this covers. But in today's lesson, I'm just going to show you a nice easy intro, and if you'd like to get a bonus PDF where I've written this out for you, you can do that by supporting my channel at patreon.com/keyboard skills pro. So, what you have to do when you're doing one of these rising minor third introductions is you have to first of all work out what key is the song in, the piece in that you're actually going to introduce. So let's say, for example, we were going to do No Business Like Show Business, which of course we all know. And that of course is in, most of the time it's in the key of C. So what I do is I say to myself, okay, well I want to get to the key of C. And from there what I've got to do is go backwards two of these special minor third movements to find out the other chords that I need to create this rising intro. So first of all I've got C. So I go down from C 3 semitones, 1, 2, 3, and I end up on the A key. So that's the first key before the actual key of the song. So C, and before that we're going to do some chords in the key of A major. A down a minor third is F sharp, but we're going to think of that as F sharp major. So if we go the other way, the three keys we're going to go through in order are F sharp major, A major, and then our key of our piece, C. So I'm just going to use three of the keys, and again, look, if we look at that sort of pattern, look, we invert it back down, C, there's A, there's F sharp, so it's part of the C sharp diminished seventh, again, all built on this minor third pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in the key of F sharp major, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to play an F sharp major chord. Now notice here, look, I'm playing the F sharp major chord with the F sharp at the top, and I'm going to just do a little fanfare. Ba ba ba, nice sound. But here's the key thing. What you have to then do is on the pedals play a C sharp. Now that is known as the dominant pedal. Why is it called the dominant pedal? Well, in music theory, the fifth note of a scale, or the fifth note of a key, is called the dominant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the fifth note. So if I play the tonic number 1 F sharp chord, and I put that with an F sharp major chord and an F sharp major pedal. Yay! Oh, hang on, he's still going. Okay, that doesn't actually sound like an intro, does it? It sounds like a fanfare. But listen to what happens this time when I change the F sharp pedal down to the C sharp pedal. Now this is called a dominant pedal note. Great sound this. And I'm going to play F sharp major chords and do my fanfare holding that pedal. Okay, got cymbals, maybe timpani rolls, theatre organ, big sound, something like this. Hey, that sounds great, doesn't it? Now, once I've done that introduction, I'm going to go da da da. That's all I need to do. Some brass going there, cymbals, as we said. Now, from there, it needs to go ba 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 ba. You've all heard this in the theatres, maybe. And I now need to get to the next key, which is A major. So again, look, from F sharp, 1, 2, 3 semitones is A major. Now, why do I want to go there? Because most people go, well, F sharp major has loads of black notes, A major has some black notes, and I know there's an F sharp in A major, but they're not really connected, but they are by our minor third interval and the fact that they are all laid out together as part of this diminished seventh chord structure there, one of the notes. So I've got my F sharp major chords here, dominant C sharp pedal, and then what I do is I just go up chromatically to A, and then I'm going to play an A chord. Notice here, look, the A chord is in that first inversion, A on the top, but then I'm going to put on the pedals not A, because again that makes it sound too finished. I need it to sound like it's carrying on, and that's what dominant chords do. So it's the same effect from this dominant pedal. So now look, I'm going to play A chord, but A chord down here, but on an E dominant pedal, because E is the fifth of A. Okay. So I'm listening to that again. Look, first chord, F sharp majors, C sharp pedal, up chromatically. Hey, isn't that a great change? Now you're probably thinking, oh, I've heard that. I heard that once in a Broadway show in that, the lights went down. That was the opening to Guys and Dolls or whatever. Okay, so I hope this is making some sense. Now, there's lots of ways you can adapt this. So you can keep the chord, look. On the pedals there, look what I'm doing. Look, I'm actually going up chromatically on the pedals with a cymbal each time. Look, so da 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 da. Okay, so that makes a great sound for our introduction. Now, the last change is to go up another minor third from A to our final key, which is the key of the tune itself. And as we said at the beginning, you're introducing a piece, so you have to know where you are wanting to end up, basically. So we're in A major, look, on an E pedal. So you've guessed it, we go up again chromatically. And then we've got C chords, but with a G pedal. And then from there, all you then need to do, he says, is get to the dominant chord of the key of C, which is nearby. Okay, so I'm going to go down there to B, or I could go up to D. And that gives me the the foundation then of the piece of music. Because obviously if you just keep rising and keep rising, people don't know where you're going to land. They just think, oh, he's going up, he's going up, he's going up. But if we then finish on the C chord, and then get our, maybe go, put a G7 augmented in, and then off you go into the song. So by establishing in that last key, C major, we've already got on the pedals, we've already got the G pedal, haven't we? F2, maybe F chord, G, and then augmented, crash, and then you're off into your piece. Now, that obviously takes a little bit of understanding, but the question is, of course, is like, well, okay, what if I'm not in the key of C? What if I want to play in E flat? So let's say again we were doing, oh hello, press the right buttons, Tom. Let's say, for example, we wanted to, like I say, get in E flat. So we start with E flat, that's the key where we're heading towards, and then from E flat, 1, 2, 3, aha, C, and then down again, 1, 2, 3. So what do I do this time? This is actually the same notes from that diminished 7th chord, but this time I'd start with my A chord, but you've got to get that dominant pedal, that's the trick. 2, 5, and then augment. And you can ham it up as much as you want, but in the final key, what you need to do is probably do a minor 2 and then go to the dominant 7th of the new key. Because once you're there, you've got to tell everybody this is where we're staying. So notice again, look, A major. Then once I go up to B flat, that's not B flat, it's E flat major, but on a B flat dominant pedal. Hold that dominant pedal down, do an F minor, B flat, 7, augmented, gives it a bit of tension, and then remember to turn your cymbals off, rookie mistake, and then you're into E flat. So whichever of those 12 keys you start on, you can go down a minor third, go down another minor third, and just keep it all in major keys. Now, I've put all that in a PDF for you, so if you'd like to get that written out, have an example of that, and also a bit of the theory behind it, very kindly you can support my channel. I love to give you my knowledge in these free lessons, and I do hope in return you'll consider supporting the channel. Visit patreon.com/Keyboard Skills Pro, sign up for silver level, and you'll get access to lots of bonus videos and content not available anywhere else on the internet. So give that a try, everybody. Lots of fun with the minor third rising chord intro. My name's Tom, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.